Well, following that decision, William Ruto said he was extending an olive branch to his competitors, including Raila Odinga. 55-year-old Ruto will be sworn in as the country's 5th president next week.
I therefore extend a hand of brotherhood to all my competitors and to all their supporters. We are not enemies, we are Kenyans. Let us unite to make Kenya a nation where everyone shall be proud to call home.
William Ruto. Well, for more on this, we can join Arise East Africa correspondent Mark Bichachi, who is in Nairobi. Good to see you, Mark. So we heard the judgment being read out there, quite a few pages of it. Just give us a little bit about what was said and which bit turned out to be the most notable.
Well, it's interesting because on all the 9 questions that the judges asked, they ruled in favor of William Ruto, which was quite interesting to watch because the country had assumed that, one, the judges would not come up with a unanimous decision. That was quite surprising. And secondly was the fact that on all 9 issues, they found that William Ruto was correct and the issues raised before the court had no merit. Now, this was very interesting given the bombshell kind of legal speech that we'd gotten on Friday. Further, what was quite interesting was the fact that the judges in the unanimous decision only agreed on one point, that there is no national tallying officer, but rather the commission needs to tally. And this then meant that the commission moving forward will have to make a decision together. But they did not find this ground to be a ground for the nullification of the election. So William Ruto becomes president with the full support of all 7 Supreme Court judges, a feat that has not happened, by the way, since the initiation of the Supreme Court.
Yes, very interesting indeed, and significant, that unanimity. But some of the language in that judgment was quite stern, wasn't it? Especially directed at the petitioners, describing some of the evidence and arguments submitted as hot air. And she warned some of the lawyers who swore affidavits that turned out to be misleading that this could be a criminal offense.
Yes, indeed. It was not just hot air, it was other statements like falsifying evidence and other issues. And this is really a scathing review of what the lawyers presented. And of course, the country is reeling over the mountains of evidence that apparently Azimio had. And of course, the ruling came as a shock, and many Kenyans on both sides, some are happily surprised and others are sadly surprised, if there's such a term. And this ruling is a landmark ruling. I think it's going to change the precedence of how rulings are done in this country. And for William Ruto, this is a coup de grace for him. He goes on to the presidency with a healthy bill of health from the Supreme Court.
Yes, but I guess the question now, Mark, is will people accept William Ruto as the duly elected president, or will it be a case of having to accept, given that this decision is final? How do you see things unfolding from here on in what is clearly a divided country?
Well, that's a good question, and the country is divided. When I talk to my fellow citizens, you find that half of them are related, half of them are depressed. So it is a divided country, and William Ruto has the task of uniting the country. Now, for that part of the country that feels that this election was stolen, and also feel consequently that William Ruto does not deserve to be president, for that half of the country, it will take a while for them to accept that William Ruto is president. And I'm taking this I'm borrowing a leaf from from the 2013 and 2017 elections, where many people did not feel like Uhuru Kenyatta was their president, and that narrative continued for a long period until Raila Odinga had a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. And I must also state that the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, has given a statement saying that there will be a smooth handover, but notably he has not congratulated William Ruto on his win. And this speaks volume, really, because also Raila Odinga in his statement did not congratulate William Ruto on his win. So there is an issue there about whether half of the country will accept President William Ruto as a duly elected president.
Well, that makes it all the more interesting, but I wonder how much it makes sense, Mark, to ordinary Kenyans to run an expensive election only to have the court determine the outcome of the ballot. I mean, it happened in 2013, 2017, and now.
Well, it's interesting because if I was to give you a historical perspective, as far back as living memory allows, from 1988, where we had the famous Mlolongo system, which is a queue system of voting when we were under one-party state, in 1992, when we had the first multi-party elections, in 1997, in 2007, in 2013, in 2017, and now in 2022, there have been various petitions in the courts, and various opposition leaders, including the former president Mwai Kibaki, had complained that elections had been rigged against him. So in as far as Kenyan living memory is concerned, the issue of the courts determining whether the election was duly won have been a mainstay for us. The only difference is that since 2013, the cases have been determined within 2 weeks, but in previous times they would take upwards of 4 or 5 years to be determined. So Kenyans are not surprised by this. It is quite the norm for our electoral practice in this country. But it is a step forward in the sense that it allows there to be a peaceful transition and a peaceful acceptance of the results. Will the same happen in 2027? If the margin is as close as this has been, you best believe that there will be another petition in this country.
And a lesson for us all across Africa. Mark, thanks very much indeed. Mark Bichachi is Arise East Africa correspondent, and he was talking to me there from Nairobi.